I'm about to give you some hacks I use to save money on college. Hey everybody, my name is Hisham Khan and welcome to Income Over Outcome, where I talk all about college and making money. Most of you going to college could expect to pay at least $22,000 a year. That's a whole lot of money. So it's no surprise that 70% of American students have to take out student loans. What's worse is that a huge chunk of the people who take out student loans are behind on paying them back. So it's really important you're not paying too much to get your college degree. And that's exactly what I've been trying to show you with my videos. Which degrees are worth getting and which ones aren't. But I don't think you should let cost stop you from pursuing something you really enjoy or applying to a school you really want to go to, because there's a lot you can do to pay less for college before you even think about getting student loans. If you do each of the things in this video, you're going to pay way less for college than the average person. And be sure to watch until the very end, because I'm going to explain exactly how you can find the best scholarships for you. So let's get into it. One of the best ways to save money on tuition is to roll into college with a bunch of college credits already in your pocket. That'll allow you to get out of certain classes so you aren't paying for classes you don't need, and a lot of the time, it'll help you graduate early. It's the exact reason so many people push for AP classes. You take an AP class, you learn everything you need to do well on a test, and then you get a few college credits. But hear me out, AP classes are not the best way to get college credit. You have to pay a $95 fee to take an AP test, and you're not guaranteed any college credits unless you do well on that test. And even then, the amount of credits you get depend on the colleges you're applying to. Some schools might give you 8 college credits for a 4 on an AP test, but another school might just give you 3.
Oh, hell no!
The absolute best way to get college credits are dual enrollment courses, but not many people talk about these, so let me fill you in. Dual enrollment means you're registered for one class in 2 places, usually your high school and a college. So if your high school offers dual enrollment courses, you'll take them like any other class, as part of your normal high school schedule taught by normal high school teachers. But because you're also enrolled at a college, you're going to get college credits for it. If you're super ambitious, you can also take dual enrollment courses at a college instead of taking them at your high school. But I'm not that ambitious, so I just took whatever dual enrollment courses were offered by my high school. Usually they were partnered with a local community college or a really big university in the state, like Syracuse University. The best part is those credits are basically guaranteed. All you have to do is pass the class. I took way more AP classes than dual enrollment courses, but when I went to college, I had way more credits from my dual enrollment courses, only because they're so much easier to transfer. Now here's exactly how it works. Once you decide on a college, you're going to send them an official transcript from whatever places you were dually enrolled at. Sometimes they also might ask for a syllabus so they know what exactly you did. That's just to prove that you actually took a college course, and so your new college knows what courses to give you credits for. So in high school I was dually enrolled in a speech class, but once I went to college I transferred that credit over. Turns out speech was actually a requirement for my major that everyone else had to take, but I didn't have to take that in college since I already had a credit from high school. Now these credits aren't free. You do have to pay for them, but they tend to be way cheaper than if you were taking them in college. When you're paying full tuition, the average credit costs $594. If you go to a super expensive school, then the cost could be upwards of $1,000 for one credit. But I had dual enrollment courses that cost just $75. That's cheaper than the AP test, and the most I paid was around $150, but you get way more than one credit for it, so it's well worth the money. With the amount of college credits I got in high school, I was able to get out of so many gen ed courses I could have graduated one whole year early. And that would have saved me thousands of dollars, which is why I think everyone needs to take as many dual enrollment courses as they possibly can. Now's the time I have to ask you to hit that like button and notification bell, because it really helps a small channel like mine grow. I just want to help as many of you as I possibly can, so you taking a second to do that helps more than you know. Another thing you need to do is apply for financial aid as early as possible, because a lot of the money colleges give out is on a first come first served basis. You've probably already heard that you have to fill out the FAFSA, but what a lot of people don't know is that the FAFSA opens up on October 1st every single year. That's super early. You have to apply for financial aid next year before you're even halfway done with your fall semester, but if you procrastinate, the amount you get might not be as much as you deserve. The FAFSA is sent to both the government and your school to see what types of loans, scholarships, and grants you could get. Most schools make you fill out a FAFSA to get any scholarships, even if they're based on your grades and not your finances. So it's worth filling out even if you think your parents have a high income, so that you don't miss out on anything. The only reason you shouldn't be filling out is if you don't want any scholarships. Worst case scenario, you don't get anything, but honestly, the FAFSA doesn't take too much time to fill out if you have all of your tax information ready. I also know some states like New York have other forms you could fill out to get money from the state, so you might want to look into that. This next one is a bit controversial, but it's a great way to save thousands of dollars. And that's going to community college before you go to a 4-year school. There's this huge stigma against community colleges. People think that if you go there, you must not have the grades to go to a good school, that there's no way you're going to get a good education, and that you can't have a good career. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is that community college is the cheaper and smarter way to get a degree. Most of the classes you take your first and even second years are gen ed courses that have nothing to do with your major. You can take those classes at a community college first and then transfer them to whatever 4-year school you want to go to. The difference is that 1 year at a community college costs $5,000, but 1 year at a private school costs $50,000. Some people I went to school with took classes like accounting at the local community college because they were so much easier at the community college than our school. That's working smarter, not harder. You just have to make sure you're taking the right classes so that they transfer over properly. A lot of people make the mistake of taking classes at a community college that don't actually fulfill any requirements. Once you transfer your credits over to a 4-year school and graduate from there, your diploma is going to look like everyone else's who graduated with you. No one has to know you went to a community college and paid a fraction of the price for the same exact degree. The only downside is that some people might judge you, but who cares what other people think? Get that bag. Now, the most obvious way to save money on college are scholarships, but I found them so overwhelming because there's a ton you can apply to, and I think that's why so many people just don't apply to scholarships. But I'm going to explain exactly how you can find them and actually increase your chances of getting a scholarship. I already talked a little bit about the ones you can get directly from your school by filling out the FAFSA, but a lot of the time your school will make you fill out the FAFSA and a separate scholarship application. So what I would do is go to your school's financial aid website and see if there's any other scholarships you can apply to. Most of the time though, these are only going to cover a small portion of your total cost of college, so you need to look into other options. Some of the less competitive scholarships are local community scholarships given out by your county and small businesses in your town. Your high school teachers and guidance counselors might help you find them, but another really good way is a simple Google search. I know if I search my town's name plus scholarships, there's a ton of things that come up. And of course, there are millions of national scholarships you can apply to, but some of these are really competitive and it can be hard to figure out which ones are worth applying to. But if you have a good strategy, then you can land a few of them. For the most part, I think it's a numbers game. The more scholarships you apply to, the higher your chances of getting one. Let's say you apply to 50 scholarships you're a really good candidate for, and you put in 2 hours into each application. That's over 100 hours of work, which is a lot. But if you apply to 50, chances are you're going to get 1, maybe 3. If the scholarships you get are valued at just $1,500, that means the 100 hours of work you put in is worth $15 an hour, which is really good for a teenager. Putting in all that work most definitely won't be fun, but it'll probably be worth it. But it's more important you're smart with what scholarships you choose to apply to, because if you just apply to 50 random scholarships, the odds of you getting them are not that high. Don't be afraid to apply to low-dollar scholarships because they can really add up and usually they have less people applying to them, so your odds of getting them are a little bit higher. And use websites where you can find the scholarships that best apply to you, like scholarships.com, where you can filter for really specific things like the sports you play, or fastweb.com that has 1.5 million scholarships on it. The US Department of Labor also has their own scholarship search tool, which is great. I'll link all of these in the description so you can check them out, but don't stop with what I've given you. There's so many websites out there where you can find scholarships. If you're still watching this video, know I appreciate you, and help me out by hitting that like button and clicking here to subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to check out one of these videos because you might enjoy them. Until next time, peace.